Hi everyone, my name is Zach Heiner and this is my presentation. The presentation is a software engineering degree or coding bootcamp degree, which to choose and which person to hire. So to get started, the focus of the report was to help a hiring manager from Vivint Smart Home decide which group would be better to hire for a C++ or similar language focused job. And the choices are between a 4-year bachelor's degree graduate in either software engineering or computer science, or a coding bootcamp graduate. And for those not familiar with coding bootcamps, essentially it's a eat, live, breathe, sweat a certain language for anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. But you graduate with a certificate saying that you're proficient in that language or area of study. Now, the method that my group used to gather data was we did a lot of research. The focus on the report was to look at the skills gained by each respective graduate, meaning that we looked at the skills gained by those who were a 4-year degree graduate and those gained by the coding bootcamp graduate. Bootcamp degrees focus primarily on technical skills. They focus really hard on the ability to code and code well, but they lack theoretical skills like algorithms and data structures that design and other common tasks may require for a software engineer to have. 4-year degree programs focus on those technical skills and theoretical skills as well, meaning that you have a more well-rounded person going into the industry. They typically are able to assess the situations that they're put in better and are able to go at it a little bit easier than somebody who doesn't necessarily have those skills. So some of the results that we came up with from our research, as you can see from the table, the computer science area is a large field, and most universities focus on skills that make the employees or the prospective employees that they're putting out more dynamic, meaning that they have more skills than the average person going into the industry without that degree. If you look at the table itself, you can see that there are 4 different sections: practical programming, algorithms and data structures, low-level system design, and web system design. And as you can see, in every area, the recent university graduate either matched or exceeded, except for in web system design. That being said, algorithm and system design are 2 areas that universities focus on and help their students really excel in. C++ especially is a coding language that's very common in university studies, and so C++ or a similar language would be very easy for a university student to pick up. Web systems are the one area in which you see the bootcamp student doing better. The reason for this is because web systems and web apps are typically what bootcamps focus on, because that's the one area in which bootcamp students are able to maximize the time that they are in their bootcamp. As you can see from the next diagram, the focus of most bootcamps are on web design and web systems. You'll actually see in this pie chart that C++ is not something that they focus on, nor are any of the common back-end languages. Now, that being said, there are boot camps that do focus on these individual languages. There are boot camps that focus on every language, but the vast majority of the boot camps are focusing on the languages that have to do with the web. Now, if C++ were a viable option or were a popular option, they would specialize in the coding section of C++, meaning that they would learn how to manipulate the code and how to code effectively, not the design or structure. One example of this is that they don't teach data structures. Data structures is something that allows university students to really understand how different pieces of code are going to work together and how they can manipulate those data structures in order to fit any common or even uncommon problem that they may run into. This is a skill that would not be taught in a boot camp. So, let's take a look at the conclusion and recommendations that we have. Now, as you guys can see from the diagram, while any education is good, the amount of depth at which computer science theory is covered in a 4-year degree far outweighs the individual specializations that one language or maybe 2 languages that a boot camp can provide or teach are going to help them in the industry. Now, that being said, there is a place for these coding boot camps. They do allow these individuals to enter the workplace in the specific area that they want a lot quicker than a 4-year degree would. However, it does typically come at a cost on their salary. Also, when it comes to back-end skills and understanding mathematics and algorithms and structures, typically a 4-year degree is going to well make up the extra that they cost over the boot camp student because they have those skills and are able to immediately implement them instead of having to be taught them or sent out to a class or have to learn on the job those individual skills. Now, while a 4-year degree does not make you a better coder, it does typically mean that they are going to have skills that are not learned by those who are in a coding boot camp. One of those is that they have already worked in the workplace typically because of an internship that they may or may not have had to do. Now, during those internships, they learn the social skills and how to interact in an environment, and typically those actually turn into some of their first jobs. These skills and the back-end skills that they understand and the design skills and the structures and algorithms that they may understand make these computer science degree students and software engineering degree students far more valuable than those from a coding boot camp. These are the works that I cited. Thank you guys for watching my presentation. I really appreciate it.